How you doing, fam bam? This is Chris Mizo here, and I got an exciting video because I got something special today. I got the Scuf Envision Pro controller right here. I'm excited to open this up and share it with you guys because we all know it's hard enough to try to find the perfect controller, especially when it comes to PC. We need something that is extraordinary, especially when it comes to gaming for PC. Especially for everybody out there who loves to use controllers for first-person shooters. This may be the controller you're looking for, where it actually has less input lag because it actually comes with a special wireless dongle. And also, if you're interested in this Envision Pro controller, just make sure you go down in the description box down below because you gotta get it from Best Buy. They are the quickest way to receive this controller because that's where I personally got it from myself. If you go onto Scuf's website, they are always running out of stock. I definitely would recommend to go down to the link right down below. So let's open this up and see what does the Scuf controller offer. Just kind of open the side of it up here, and let's see what this comes out. A nice little box that says change your game, and then of course on the back of it is just the Scuf symbol. Open this up, and voila. There is the controller. It is recommending you to download the software first. Now, one of the first things that did scare me about purchasing this controller is it does use Corsair's iCUE. As you can, if you look closely inside the box right there, you can actually see it tells you to download iCUE first before continuing. So let's take this out. Oh, it does come nice and padded. I will put that to the side here. This is the wireless dongle that I am talking about here. Now, the thing about this dongle is you take a look at this. This actually causes a less input delay instead of using Bluetooth. It does come with some extra accessories. Once you take this, plastic cover off, it does give you like two little boxes. So don't be so quick to throw out this box. More than likely, you're probably not going to throw out the box. If you're like me, you like to keep these boxes. But anyway, to get to the point, it does come with more thumbsticks. Well, they do give you a decent USB-C. It is nice and braided. And it's probably 6 foot. They typically are. It's actually USB-A. They give you a USB-C adapter. If you want to leave that on, you can. You just got to take this tape off because I know all of you out there are probably wondering how to swap out the mechanical switches on this controller. Well, it's going to be a lot easier than it looks. In order to swap out these thumbsticks, it's really simple. And the same thing with these side action switches here. All we have to do, you're just going to pull this off right there. There you go. Now you have full access. How do you swap out the thumbsticks? Just pull it out, and there you go. Now I could swap it out for a much taller one of choice that comes with the box set. Just put this in. You're gonna just kind of feel it slot in just like that. And then you're gonna push it in. Now you can see the difference in height. Much more taller compared to the one that comes with the Envision Pro. So you can leave it in if you prefer taller sticks. But now I'm just going to put the short one in there. Take a closer look at that. As you can tell, it is an analog joystick. Alright, so let's put that short back. Now you're probably wondering how to swap out these type of switches. It's really easy. Just the same exact way, just as the joysticks. You pull it off, and it comes right out. Now it does have different sizes and different looks. I could put one on. You can see this is much more flat compared to the one that's on here, which is contoured. So let's pull this one off. As you see, it just snaps in. Now it is much more recessed in compared to it being contoured out. So depending on how you like the feel, if you like it more sleek, it's probably better to put that one on. These back ones are also interchangeable. They pop off. Now all you have to do is, if you're going to reinstall the faceplate, it's really easy. It's almost like a magnetic faceplate. and it just snaps right in there with ease and no problems. To pair this, just make sure you have the dongle in, just as we did earlier. And on the back of here, you're going to see a USB switch. You're just going to want to make sure you switch it to the wireless mode. And the PC should recognize it immediately because it is a USB device. The Envision Pro is really an amazing looking controller. You have the beautiful crafted mechanical switches. You do have the wonderful joysticks that are at a perfect level. The power button is exactly where you need it to be. And on top of it, it has a very useful D-pad. It has the beautiful side buttons on the side of this controller. And it is very nice and satisfying, especially when you just hear the clicking. Nothing wrong with a little bit of ASMR. And let me show you, there's the beautiful lighting on here. It's very, very comfortable to grip, and it just feels really good in your hands. It's a shame this isn't a touchpad that would enhance the experience so much more. And then the back of it has a beautiful stipling grip on there, so you don't have to add anything extra. And of course on the back you do have your extra triggers and of course side action triggers. Once you connect the Envision Pro, iCUE will immediately recognize your product. And once it does, make sure you download whatever firmware is necessary for the controller so it can work properly. The firmware doesn't really take too much time and it updates relatively quickly. Over here, you can see that it also has a notification bar. After you see it is a successful update, here is the mappings. These are just the preset mappings and you can select any. As shooters, battle royale, racing, sports, and action adventure. And custom mappings is where it shines. You could actually set the G keys and set that you would want for the controller and map out even macros. Down in hardware mappings is if you don't want to use iCUE, and the lighting effects are your RGBs for the bottom of the controller. This is a really useful feature if you want to define your profiles, and here you have your triggers where you can adjust the travel and even the curve response, which is a really nice feature to have, especially if you want to have full control of your game. Thumbstick wise, you can control the curve response, and you can also control the dead zone as well. You can have complete customization when it comes down to that. And even with vibrations, you can shut it off, on and off. And here we can see that finally the controller is at a full charge. I had the Envision Pro with about 3 to 4 days on standby time. And I got about close to 16 hours of usage. Exactly 15 hours and 57 minutes of usage. I gotta say, the controller's grip is very comfortable. When you grip this controller, it feels really pleasing to the hands. When you're playing for long hours of games, it's not enough rubber on there for your hands to sweat, but yet it is comfortable to the hands to hold as well. Now, typically I have larger hands. Even with my larger hands, I felt very comfortable holding this controller and playing for hours and hours. I gave this a test on games such as Lord of the Fallen, and I gave it a try also on Modern Warfare 3 Zombies to see how well it does on first-person shooters, because not everybody likes a keyboard and mouse. How well did it do? I gotta say, the really nice features about this, the side action buttons, 2 extra paddles in the back of the controller. It does come in handy, especially since I programmed my side paddle to run and my other side action to melee. So instead of using the thumbsticks, which I didn't even have to use at all, it is much easier and a much more easier way to have control of your game. I really do enjoy the tactile clicking when you are pressing the keys. It's precise because every time you hit the A, B, or X, Y button, you can hear the nice clicky tactile press, and it's almost like clicking a mouse. There's so short travel distance on the buttons, it's almost immediate. And the nice thing about this controller, you can set how much travel you want for the L2 and R2 triggers on the back here. So you can actually stop it right here up on the top. It will immediately go into the action mode instead of traveling all the way completely down just like this. another great feature about this controller is that it is very easy to switch between different profiles. There is a user button on the controller, and every time you hit that user button, it will switch to different profiles, and it will also control your RGB profiles as well. For example, my PC has 5 different Corsair iCUE profiles in there, and then plus it added another 3 Envision Pro controller profiles in there as well as a bonus. Now, I didn't set the RGBs just precise, it's just the default RGB lighting. Nevertheless, you have 3 extra profiles that you can mess around with, where you can set it for either racing or you can set it for action adventure. It is also really nice that they do feature the G buttons on the bottom of this Envision Pro controller, because the G buttons can also be programmed to be part of, say, an RPG. You can give it multiple functions, and the best part is you can also set your controller and give it macro functions as well. And what I do to shut off the controller is I set it to USB mode, and then I press the power button, then usually it shuts off. But it cannot be connected to a USB wire, otherwise it will just stay powered on. Now, this controller does charge up relatively quick. It is one of the better controllers when it comes to charging speeds. And I gotta say, this has been a really pleasing controller that I've seen for a very long time. How is the audio? Does the audio actually work? Because it does have the 3.5 millimeter audio connection on the bottom of the controller. And not all of them exactly work. You know which controllers I'm talking about, where it doesn't really work that well for PC. Let me show you this.
If you're curious about how clear the headset jack is for the Envision Pro, this is how it sounds like. I'm speaking through the Envision Pro with my Sennheiser 363D headset, and I couldn't be more pleased. It's quite a surprise, and definitely something to look into if you're looking for a controller that can be able to use as a headset for microphone and headphones. You're probably wondering, if you use the Envision Pro wirelessly, can you use your headset? And I gotta say, you can completely use it. You can not only listen to audio, but you're able to use the mic as well. So if this is a big plus for you, I gotta say, it's something to really consider if you're looking to getting a new PC controller.
The only negative sides for this controller is it's really disappointing that this isn't a touchpad. I mean, it is a cool looking design, but it would be nice if they would have made this a touchpad, especially you're spending up to $179.99 USD for this controller. Another negative side of this is that this does not have Bluetooth support. So if you're looking for Bluetooth support in a controller, this does not have it. You cannot use it on something like ASUS ROG Ally. Well, technically you can, but you're gonna have to use a USB dongle in order for you to use this controller. And then you can either plug it wirelessly, or you can plug it via USB-C to USB-C, or you get the idea. It is strictly a Windows controller. Sorry Xbox users, sorry PlayStation users, you cannot use the Envision Pro for your consoles. If it wasn't just for iCUE, because of how much problems I know iCUE gives to people, I would give this controller a 9 out of 10. It would be nearly perfect, but I know not everybody likes iCUE, and that could bring down the score down drastically. Also, if you're interested in purchasing this controller, make sure you go down in the description box down below. From Best Buy, they are usually in stock compared to going to the actual Scuf website, because they are always running out of controllers on there for some reason. I hope you found this content very useful. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you know anybody else who is looking for a new controller for their PC and you want to recommend one, make sure you share this video with them. And also make sure you go down and hit the subscribe button for more if you're not part of the Big Wonderful Fan Band. And also don't forget to hit the notification bell. And for all the newest updates, make sure you follow my X handle right here, as it is the same as my TikTok and IG as well.